Finally, guys, we're hearing some good news for Days Gone 2 because it seems like Rhino on Twitter just posted some interesting stuff for the Days Gone game. The game that I've always been waiting for, that I've always been vouching for. And Sony, you know what, they've always been neglecting in order to make the sequel for this game, no matter how much the fans have been asking them. But now it seems like there are some interesting moves that's going on in the industry. First thing, we're going to start off with what Rhino has to say here about Days Gone 2. Days Gone 2 is going to be the biggest thing that Ben Studios can deliver to long-awaiting fans. And this is something that we already knew, that Ben Studio was reportedly working on a live service new IP game, and Bloomberg has just announced that this new live service game that Ben Studio was working on has just been cancelled by PlayStation, and we don't know the reason yet. Now, there's another tweet where Rhino actually shares some more of those details, which we'll get to in a minute. It seems like there are a lot of people that are finally getting to see the glory of what Days Gone used to be and what this game was. Days Gone performed decently well, and it's very much viable for more entries, both commercially and in terms of lore and narrative. Now, Days Gone sold over 7.23 million copies, which is a lot of copies, to be honest. I think that's very close to what The Last of Us Part 1 sold as well. So this definitely means that, Days Gone is not a game that failed. It's a game that made a lot of sales for Sony. It made a lot of money, but then, the woke media industry, they kind of just took down this game, like IGN, one of the most worst-known woke video game critics of all time, to be honest. Now, Days Gone 2's petition has reached over 231 million signatures since 2021, and Days Gone movie was reported to be in works as of August 2022, with Sam Hugan, Outlander, is circling the project. Now, for those of you guys who don't know, Days Gone is actually filming a new show. It's like a film adaptation that they're doing, pretty much like how HBO has been doing with The Last of Us. It's the same thing that they've been doing with Days Gone as well. But there is a lot of filming process that's been currently going on, and it seems like we might officially hear some sort of a trailer or something this year in 2025, which is a good stuff. And given the mass impact of film or shows adaptations on gaming IPs like The Last of Us, The Witcher, and Cyberpunk Edge Runners and Uncharted, it is quite likely that Sony may not be done with Days Gone's IP just yet. That's honestly very true. And the cancellation of Days Gone 2 might merely be a rejection of the concept of the project rather than overlooking the IP forever. Would you like Days Gone 2? Oh my god, honestly, man, I would love to have Days Gone 2. And I've been vouching for this for like a very long time now. In Sony, for some reason, they just don't seem to be giving a F about this whole Days Gone thing. And no matter how much the fans have been begging these guys in order to give us like a proper sequel to the game, they're just not doing it. Now, fun fact is that Sony just announced that PlayStation has reportedly canceled 2 live service games, and one which includes God of War. And this kind of just shocked me out of the blue, because I don't know why Sony would just cancel a God of War game that's coming up. And then I went on and read what the whole story is about, and it seems like it's not the regular God of War game that we are thinking that Sony canceled. This is a whole different ball game that Sony has been playing that we never knew about, because they have been developing a new God of War game, which is not like a single player story game, whereas this is going to be some sort of a live service game, which means like probably this could be a multiplayer, or if not multiplayer, it's probably going to be some sort of an RPG open world sort of a game. And this was not developed by Santa Monica Studios. In fact, this was developed by Blue Point Games. And Blue Point Games, they've always worked on multiple God of War games, and they've also worked on 2023's Demon's Souls, Uncharted Nathan Drake collections, and then Marco Thrash, Shadow of the Colossal, Demon's Souls, so many different games. Basically, these guys have worked on all that stuff. Now, it seems like Blue Point Games were given the authority in order to make like a live service, full-fledged God of War game. And for whatever reason, Sony decided, well, you know what, this is not going to be a good idea, and let's just go ahead and cancel this game and not release it. It also seems like Ben Studios took another L this time, man, once again, because it seems like Ben Studios were working on an unknown live service game, which was supposed to be like this new IP. And a lot of recent leaks and information and speculations basically stated that, it's some sort of a military sci-fi game, which kind of takes place in the same environment or like the world or setting of Days Gone. The whole story could be related to Nero and the military and how all those part of the story went on. And they were not supposed to show the story of Deacon St. John in this military sci-fi game. But bad news is that Sony seems to have cancelled this game as well, because as previously reported, per hiring requirements, neither studios will be shut down after cancelling their live service games, which means that both the studios are in fact going to be running, but for whatever reason, the games that they were working on is now officially shut down. Now, Ben Studios and Blue Point are highly accomplished teams who are valued members of the PlayStation Studio family, and we are working closely with each studios to determine what are the next projects that they should work on. So Sony truly wasted half a generation and the time and talents of hundreds of employees on live service games. And I think one of the worst ideas that Sony could have ever come up with is the Concord game, man. One of the most hilarious titles that they created. It ended up deserving what it actually needed. You know, the game got shut down and, you know, it was one of the most embarrassing launches of entire Sony's history. And now they've got like PS5 Pro that is released and nobody's buying that console. And then they're planning on releasing the PlayStation 6. While as on the other hand, we have Xbox who are doing everything they possibly can in order to give like a much better console and also a lot more value for gamers with the Game Pass and whatnot, because there are so many games that's coming to Game Pass day one. And if you look at Sony, they have literally no first party games that's coming out in 2025. Literally, there is none at all. Now, if you look at Naughty Dog, this is one of the studios that I really had a lot of respect for. But then over the years, you know, the only thing that these guys have been doing is remaster Last of Us Part 1 for the PC version, for the PS5, for the PS4, and then again remaster the remaster version, and then release it once again for all the different platforms. The only thing they've been doing is like completely remaster the same shit over and over, add in the director's edition again for that remastered version, release it again. It's absolute bullcrap that this company's been doing so far. And then finally they come up with this Vogue garbage called Intergalactic. And you know, nothing about this company is authentic anymore. And the best thing, you know, Sony should actually do in terms of getting highly profitable games is that they should just get back the old guys that actually worked on Days Gone and let them just work with the sequel of Days Gone. Let them create the Days Gone 2. And it seems like John Garvin, he has already mentioned that he already has like the full script of what the storyline for Days Gone 2 is going to be. And the reason why Days Gone 1 actually ended in such a cliffhanger is because there was a story that was kind of, you know, already pre-planned and everything for Days Gone 2, and it just got rejected. And the guys that were behind Days Gone, Jeff Ross and John Garvin, and all of these guys who had like a very passionate mind for this game, they are now officially out of Ben Studios. And that has just destroyed the reputation of Sony and, you know, entire studio itself. And I would just love for these guys to, you know, get back and start working on a sequel. And that could actually bring a lot of tears and happiness into gamers' eyes, man. Because I have honestly been a very, very big fan of Days Gone. This game, when it came out, you know, I've got so much memories making videos on this game. You know, that's basically how my channel blew up. And I was really, really hooked into the storyline of this game, man. Honestly, I don't think there was anything about this game that was, you know, Vogue. And everything was just perfect. For some reason, you know, the Hollywood industry and all that bullshit that's going on, these guys, they just don't like stuff that doesn't have Vogue garbage in it. And that's probably why, you know, they kind of just canceled this whole game and there is no sequel as of now. And there's been a lot of people that are petitioning for like a sequel for this game. And I really hope, and now that we're going to be getting like a movie for Days Gone that's currently in development, because it seems like Sam Hugan is going to be the guy who's going to play as the protagonist Deacon St. John in the movie. And I think he's actually perfect in order to play this character. And guess what's the best part about it? It seems like we're most likely going to be getting an official trailer or teaser in 2025, because they've been filming for this movie from a very long time. And if this movie ends up becoming a massive success, I think, you know, we might finally officially be seeing a sequel for Days Gone. And I really hope this happens. And every single one of you gamers out there, even if you don't like the movie, just go ahead and support it, because if it gets enough revenue and enough exposure, then we are definitely, no matter what happens, we are definitely going to be seeing a Days Gone 2. So honestly, it's only possible if us fans are willing to do it. And honestly, I think, you know, Sam Hugan is going to be one of the perfect characters in order to play as this protagonist. Just look at this guy, man. He looks exactly like Deacon St. John, and I'm pretty sure, you know, he'll pull off this role in the most perfect ways, honestly. I would love to hear your opinions. Please leave them down below in the comments. I'm super excited to see what the community has to say about this. Will you guys be supporting the Days Gone movie, even if it's not good? Because I sure as hell am going to support it, because if I do it, then I know that Days Gone 2 is possible, and the only thing that I actually care about is the video game. So I am pumped for it. Can't wait for it. So if you guys want to see Days Gone 2 happen, make sure to go ahead and comment down below saying we want Days Gone 2. Let this thing just spread all over the comment section. And if Sony ends up watching this video, then they should know that every single person that watched this video wants to see Days Gone 2 happen. It doesn't matter how many views this video gets. If this video ends up getting 100,000 views, I hope that we at least get like 50,000 comments down below saying that we want Days Gone 2. If that happens, you know, it's going to send a clear message to Sony and Ben Studios and all the department or whoever is controlling whatnot. So please guys, just take a few seconds, drop a comment down below. It really makes massive change. It brings the word out to these industries. Now with that being said, make sure to go ahead and drop a like on this video if you want to see Days Gone Gone 2. And if you also support me as a content creator, it would absolutely mean a lot to me. And thank you guys so much for all the support you've been showing on my previous video. It really means a lot. And with that being said, I will keep you guys updated with every information that we receive about Days Gone 2 and all the upcoming video games every single day on this channel. So make sure to go ahead, subscribe, because it's free to subscribe on YouTube. That's the best part. So take advantage of it. Subscribe, turn the notifications on, and I will see you guys on the next one. Until then, take it easy, fams, and goodbye.